So, The Witcher Season 3 finally has its release date, or I should say release dates, because they're splitting it into two parts, which don't know why. Um, but it also looks like it's finally featuring the Wild Hunt in their full glory. And for those of us who are fans of, I think, the games even more so than the books, The Witcher 3 is hands down one of the best the games I've ever played, and the Wild Hunt was, a huge part of that. So I'm really interested to see how they're gonna pull that off in this version of the show. But I have to, I want to talk about the elephant in the room for a little bit, which is Henry Cavill's departure from The Witcher, because Chris and I are big fans of Henry Cavill, and he was the reason we started watching The Witcher, literally. Like, I think we probably would have picked up the show anyway, based on the fact that I liked the video game. But when I heard that he was cast, it was an immediate like, oh hell yeah, I'm watching that show. The moment that it was announced that he was no longer going to be a part of it, and they were bringing another actor into the mix, um, I have feelings about that, and it's not good. Like the previous seasons, like when they would tease things and they would put out trailers and production photos and everything else, I would be legitimately hyped and like super excited, like, oh, this is gonna be such a fun thing. And I am not one of those. I'm not a book purist. I am not one of those people who's like, The Witcher sucks because it didn't follow the books the way it's supposed to. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I don't do that. I'm also the same person who loves all Star Wars. I love all Star Trek. I love all Middle Earth content. Yes, I will criticize things like Rings of Power for not necessarily adapting the book perfectly, but there was a great conversation that Brandon Sanderson had recently on adaptations. I watched the TikTok version. I actually don't know if he has a longer form version like YouTube or something, but he was talking about how his preferred method of watching adaptations in the past has always been film adaptations that take a lot of liberties with the creative work because he likes to see other versions of his favorite books. And I was like, that's actually a legitimate take on things. And it's conversations like that that help me as a fan, as a reader, as an author, as a creative individual. Those sorts of conversations help me expand my horizons and get out of my head and get out of that headspace of being, one of those people who just can't accept that something isn't 100% true, and then they'll go out there and make ranty bitchy comments about how that's not my Superman, that's not my Batman, that's not my Middle Earth, that's not my insert franchise here. Hashtag not my Obi-Wan. I mean, just hashtag Picard sucks, things of that nature. Um, so I've never been one that's worried too much about The Witcher being true to the source material. I just want something that's fun to watch. And Henry Cavill's Witcher has been very fun to watch. But knowing that he's moving away from this and he's no longer going to be attached to season 4 and they are just rolling right into season 4 with a brand new actor sits wrong with me. And I actually watched this most recent trailer and said, man, it looks really good, but I just don't have the same level of hype and excitement that I did before. And it's because I feel like they've done Cavill dirty. I feel like they did him dirty, especially after the Superman shit with DC Comics and all that stuff. Oh yeah, you're back as Superman. Oh, actually, wait a minute. No, you're not back as Superman. So yeah, I don't know. No one knows exactly what went down between Netflix and Cavill. Most people assume, and probably rightfully so, that it has something to do with the fact that they haven't been true to the source material, and Cavill has been one of those people who's all along has said, I'm on board with this as long as it stays true to the source material. And they started making some dramatic changes to things, and he's one of those people who apparently can't get out of his head about it, and that's fine. Everybody's allowed their own opinions on things, even if I don't necessarily agree with those opinions. But one thing I will say is that for me, Henry Cavill made the show. He was Geralt of Rivia, and I there's a conversation to be had about a franchise like, say, Batman or Superman, where every decade they recast and they do a brand new version of that character with a brand new director or a series of directors, a brand new writers, brand new actor in that lead role. But there's usually a break in between. Might be 5, 6 years, it might be a little bit longer, but there's always a break in between to give people a chance to sort of simmer on the one that came before and to prepare themselves for knowing that there's going to be a different actor in that role. It's the same thing they do with the Bond character as well. When they have an actor who plays Bond, as a general rule, there have been a couple of exceptions to this, but as a general rule, um, once an actor is done with their version of Bond, it sits for a hot minute. Like they don't just rush to find the next character, the next actor to play Bond. They take a little while and find the right person and make sure that that person is going to be able to carry the franchise for the next 3, 4, 5 films. And in this case, I feel like they're just rushing ahead because they made commitments and have, money already spent and actors already under contract and they have to just push forward. And it's not that Liam Hemsworth is a bad actor. He's not. He's a very good actor, just like his brother. And he does quality content. I don't think I've seen too much of his that I've looked at and said, oh, I don't like that. There's been some stuff that's been like, oh, really? I don't think I would have taken that creative step, but you could see that for any actor. Hey everyone,
But
Renfail here with the commercial part of the video where I say, hey, if you like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. And thanks to all of our supporters are here on YouTube and over on Patreon, our highest members, our guild champions, Crazy's Relative, Remy D here on YouTube. And don't forget if you want to support, it's really easy. You can do the memberships below, the Adventurers Guild, 3 different tiers. There's also the super thanks on any uploaded video or YouTube short that you find. There's also, of course, the super chats and stickers that you could do on any live stream or premiere, and the Patreon page if you want to dive into the fantasy world that I have with my brother and my wife, which is a tabletop game, a point and click adventure game, and a fantasy book series. All are great ways to keep this channel going and me going full time. Thanks again for those of you who support. Let's get back to the video that you're watching now. I don't find myself being hyped about the upcoming third season of The Witcher, and it's because I know that Cavill's going to be gone. And I don't care why he's gone. I don't care if he had creative differences with the showrunner, and I don't care that it's rumored, not confirmed. I don't care that it's rumored that it's about, creative vision and not being true to the books. What I care about is that the actor that I associate with Geralt of Rivia, this iteration of Geralt of Rivia, is gone. And knowing that this season is his last season, if it was the last season of The Witcher, I would have the same level of hype that I had before. But I don't because I know that it's not the last season of The Witcher. They're immediately rolling in and have already, I believe, have already begun shooting season 4 and have already rolled into production for season 4. So it's not like they're taking a break and giving us time to adjust to the fact that there's going to be a recast. We're going to have imagine if they had gone from Christian Bale, and the following year we got Ben Affleck, and boom, 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 3 films with Ben Affleck, and then the next year we got Pattinson. Just like boom, 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 new actors within a 12 to 18-month period of time. It wouldn't sit right with people. It would just feel weird. It would feel awkward, and that's how I feel about The Witcher. It's not that he's not a capable actor. Liam Hemsworth is a great actor, but it's too soon. So for me, I'm watching this trailer today. I wrote this post on Facebook before I came in here and did this video on my personal Facebook page where I was just like, I can't feel, I just don't, I feel kind of numb. It's like I don't feel any hype for season 3 because I'm going into it knowing that he walked away, that there were some issues behind the scenes that we're probably never going to know the truth about. And, rather than I think the smarter decision on their part would have been to just end it and been like, you know what? The Witcher is done as we know it. Let's take a few years, come back with a brand new cast and try something different. But instead they're just steamrolling ahead, kind of trying to act like nothing happened. Like, oh, don't worry about it. We just got a new actor in the lead role. He's going to do fine. I would be really interested to see the numbers when they come out. Like, what's the difference? How much of an audience are they going to lose moving to the new actor? Because I'll be honest with you, I have no interest to watch season 4, none whatsoever. There's a part of me that's like, I'm sure I'll watch it, but there's no hype to season 4 for me. There's no like, oh, I gotta watch that. Whereas like season 1 and 2 of The Witcher, I was like, I gotta watch that. Love the games. I love Henry Cavill. I can't, and I still love Henry Cavill, by the way. Like I'm a Cavill fan for life. Like the film he's shooting right now with Guy Ritchie, where they're all like, you know, sailor spies from the 20s or 30s or something, looks amazing. I'm really stoked to see if Cavill can get his Warhammer 40K show off the ground. You know, I'm a Henry Cavill fan for I've been that way since The Tudors. I think that was the first thing that I can remember him watching in. Although after I saw him in The Tudors, I was like, wait, that's the kid from The Count of Monte Cristo, and I realized that I had seen him in something before that. But I've been a Henry Cavill fan for a long time, and I will be a Henry Cavill fan for probably the rest of my life. I haven't seen him do anything that I don't like. Um, but yeah, I don't know, Netflix. It just feels wrong to me to try to rush into the next season of The Witcher with a completely different actor. And I don't care what statements are made in the public, you know, that make the press, Henry Cavill being like passing the torch and being like, Liam's going to do a great job, trust in him and all this other stuff. And I'm like, that's a very, that's the professional thing to do. It's the professional courtesy you would do. You're on your way out of the job. You really liked the job and you might have had some creative differences with people, but you don't wish them any ill will, and so you kind of make an agreement that, well, hey, I'll stay on until you can find a replacement for me, and then I'll wish the replacement best of luck, and I'll try to train him as best I can, but then I'm off to do other things. It's that, but it's also not that because it's a celebrity thing and it's in the public eye, and it's a well, it's a TV franchise, so it's similar, but it's not the same. I don't know. I'm 10 minutes, well, I guess I'm 11 minutes in and I've just been ranting this whole time. Um, I'm looking forward to season 3, but knowing that it's Henry Cavill's last season makes me not hyped about season 3 the same way I was for seasons 1 and 2. And it has nothing to do with the story. I don't care if they're true to the books or not. I just want to be entertained. And for me, it's all about the fact that it just seems weird to immediately be moving on to another actor right after that and trying to recast the main role, especially when this is someone who championed for that role and then it just didn't work out. That sucks. It's got to suck for him worse than it sucks for me because I'm just a person on the outside watching, and yeah, he got paid handsomely for his time. But also, I can tell you as someone who has gotten paid handsomely for their time on different projects, when you put your heart and soul into something, it does suck. When it doesn't work out because you put so much of yourself into that it feels like a personal betrayal. It feels like a breakup. If you've ever been through a bad breakup, it kind of feels like that. And I'm kind of on the outside looking in right here, but I still feel like I'm going through a breakup right now with Netflix because I'm just not feeling it, folks. Anyway, the trailer is good. Check it out if you can. I think it's a good trailer. I'm looking forward to season 3. I'm just not hyped about it. That's my thoughts. See you next time.